the top Republican on the House Oversight Committee, accusing the Treasury Department of running cover for the Biden family. And this is coming after his request to look into reports involving first son Hunter Biden were rejected.
Created for Congress to have access to them, to be able to track any type of foreign transactions that would lead to terrorist activity. So this is another cover-up in the Biden administration to block Republican oversight and Republican investigations of Hunter Biden's shady business dealings.
Pete Hegseth is with me, co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend, to first discuss his reaction to this.
You know, Harris, it's not surprising. First of all, here's what we do know. These are suspicious activity reports that the Treasury Department tracks. From what we understand from the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, who just spoke there are over 150 of them that could pertain to Hunter Biden. Suspicious activity reports of overseas dealings. Traditionally, Congress has access to those reports for oversight reasons. The Biden administration just about a year ago changed the way the executive was willing to comply with the House. So now it requires being in the majority to get access to any of those reports. Of course, the Democrat majority is not interested in looking into suspicious activity. James Comer's trying to get his hands on them. It would probably take a November election for him to do so.
So I want to backtrack just for a second, though, just a step back, because I knew about the 150 and had always wondered, well, you know, if you've got that many reasons to look at someone, you're going to take a look at that person. Why can't we know what they were seeing? But are you saying now that the Biden administration, in addition to all the switch flipping they did at the beginning of Biden's presidency on the border, wherever it was, he just was flipping Trump's policies, right? Are you trying to say that he had time to concentrate on changing this and that it benefited his son?
I mean, it's amazing how many lines there are on this, from who represents Hunter Biden to who went to the FBI to oversee criminality to who decided what they were going to look at or close investigations. And yes, here's yet another detail in that. The process had been traditionally one where when these requests are made for Congress, they were given on either side of the aisle. Yet the Biden administration, this is according to the ranking member, James Comer, changed the policy very specifically so that the Treasury Department didn't have to give these suspicious activity reports to members of Congress across the other side of the aisle. It requires a subpoena. Maxine Waters is actually the one who sponsored the bill to bring it back to a normal process, ironically so. It has not been voted on, it has not passed. Right now, the prerogative is in the hands of the White House, and they're preventing Republicans from seeing these suspicious activity reports, of which Hunter had over 150.
So clearly we can understand why Republicans might be laying into the FBI, claiming that it is politically biased. Because when you say something like that, you know there are politics inside of any White House. And we know that there are politics inside of this one, so it's no exception. But yesterday, after the Post reported that disgraced ex-FBI agent Timothy Thibault was the point man, the point man for former Hunter Biden business partner Tony Bobulinski, and never followed up with him about his bombshell allegations. Bobulinski alleged 1 month before the 2020 election that Joe Biden was involved with his son Hunter and brother Jim's dealings with a Chinese energy company. A New York Post op-ed argues FBI Chief Chris Wray must explain the suppression of the Hunter Biden investigation. Pete.
He sure needs to. Remember when the left celebrated whistleblowers like Lieutenant Colonel Vindman? It would float off their lips. Here we are with whistleblowers. The only reason we know about this this individual, Tim Tebow, is because of whistleblowers inside the FBI who said, look at his social media account. He's a rabid Trump hater, and he's been in charge of both Russiagate investigations and now the Hunter Biden investigation. Tony Bobulinski was said after he sat down for 5 hours with the FBI, your future point guy on this is Tim Tebow. Tebow never followed up and closed the investigation without the normal process inside the FBI. This after they'd had the laptop since December of 2019, plenty of time to look at it and then verify it from Bobulinski about who the big guy was. This is an inside cover-up job, it appears, from the FBI, certain individuals with a lot of power to shut down investigations they don't like. Thankfully, the New York Post is actually doing the work.
It's time to do more question asking. And yes, the New York Post can't stand alone. as journalists across the board, we need to be asking questions because, as you called that one person a rabid Trump hater, the president is being looked at as a rabid Trump voter hater. So what are the perks for performing for the man at the top via his son? That's a worthy question. Pete, real quick, you're hosting the Fox Nation Patriot Awards that are coming up. It's set for November 17th. Tickets on sale right now. That's always a great occasion and always wonderful when you're part of it. So good to see you. Thank you.
Get him now.
Outnumbered is next.